Hello, fellow flames. Today, I'm going to share with you 4 things that can help you learn how to detach in this twin flame paradox of the number one question that I'm always hearing is, should I let go my twin flame or should I hold space? So stay tuned. Video, I'm going to share with you the idea and the difference between detachment and letting go so that you can actually help to make a conscious choice, a conscious decision from a more higher perspective of, for yourself, the question of, should I let go of my twin flame or should I hold space? That is the paradox of all paradoxes. When it comes to letting go, that is an inside job. And you're really not even letting go of your twin flame, even though when you ask that question, you think of that outside of yourself and as a person. But by letting go of your twin flame is not anything to do with this time, space, reality, or anything to do with that person physically, so to speak. It's literally coming from other timelines, other dimensions, other aspects of yourself, your deeper, darker shadows within that you have hidden from, you have ran from. You've either cut off a side of yourself or you've numbed that side. You've cut it off because you haven't wanted to see that part of you, that dark side. You've numbed it because you haven't wanted to feel the pain. Or you've suppressed it because you didn't know how to express your parts of yourself that have been hidden within you. And so your twin flame comes along to be the mirrored reflection of your shadows so that, you can awaken or tune into those shadows, which when you basically stop putting up the idea of separating from your twin or thinking you got to push your twin away, it really is helping you then in the letting go process of letting go of the resistance to yourself, really, to seeing those shadows. And it's also letting go of the control that usually is the divine feminine tend to be more in control, and letting go of the control of outcomes, the moving into that aspect of trust and releasing the resistance that you're feeling out of control. What I hear over and over and over, people are like, I'm losing my mind, I'm losing control, this feeling of losing control, and it sends into that obsessiveness. And literally, you are losing your mind because you're being through this process of your twin flame activating you to connect to all sides of you. You're rewriting your process, you're resetting your programming, and you're letting go of old beliefs, thoughts, feelings, actions, programs. And that is letting go of something. And that's what you are letting go, even though it's coming from the feeling of it being the twin. So what I invite you to do is move more into the detachment concept. And in the detachment, it says you are doing a couple things. You're surrendering versus controlling. Letting go says that you're letting go of control, but detaching says that you're surrendering and you're allowing and you're moving into trust and you're getting it away. And you're letting go of the outcome and you're learning to trust the process. But on the flip side of that, it hurts in that detachment because the detachment, you're not separating from the twin because they are in you. You're separating from those shadow sides of yourself that's painful in the process of being stripped through the layers and layers and layers of detachment that you're releasing from your shadow aspects of fear, abandonment, the sense of being in control, as I was saying. So, what these shadows are coming up for you to release as your twin activates is for you to find more light from within. So you're learning how to connect to all sides of you. So let's talk about the 4 ways for you to learn how to detach and the things that you need to detach from, basically. So the first one is you need to heal your mirrored self. Means you need to take responsibility for these traumas that we have went through, from abandonment and the rejection and the unrequited love that has been like not just this lifetime, but repetitive patterns, that not worthiness, the not feeling good enough. We need to stop running from ourselves and be able to look at the pain and the experience that's below that, so we can then face that shadow, which is facing the fear. Stop running from the fear, and then that will stop the running from within, which, as we know, it's an inside job. So when you stop running from within and you're able to stop cutting that off, you stop numbing it, you stop suppressing it yourself and your emotions, then you open up and allow the energy between you and your twin and that resistance between you. You're letting go of the resistance that's pushing your twin away. And then what you can do, what you need to do at that point, is take responsibility for your part in that. And how you mostly do that is acknowledging the pain. Because I can't tell you how many people that I work with that basically run from that pain, and that pain is real, and that pain can create all kinds of mental and emotional turmoil within us that it's painful, not to mention the physical aspects of how that integrates within our body and becomes physical pain that manifests in our body and in our lives. So be willing to heal your mirrored self, and to do that, be willing to acknowledge that pain in such a way you're willing to take responsibility for it and stop running from the pain. Feel the pain, and that will release the resistance that's causing you to feel out of control, that's causing you to resist letting go of that, and that will release the resistance between you and your beloved, basically. And this can be with any and a lot of things in this. And the other thing I also will tell you, if you've not saw or read my 3 strategies to let go of your twin flame blog I did a couple weeks ago, I'll put a link below, because that's going to have some really good exercises for you, some takeaways that you can work on within, some thought processes to reformat how you go through the process of letting go. And the second part of this is that to transform your traumas. So in these traumas that I mentioned of the abandonment, we need to shift from the abandonment to acceptance and allowing ourselves to receive, and to move beyond the heart pain into the openness to receive. Because of the pain, we've put up the walls and we've blocked ourselves from experiencing love. And we're asking for the love, but because of our traumas, we're not willing to receive the love. So we need to make a list of what our traumas are. For instance, if we have fears, make a list of what those fears are, and then transform that fear to love. Transform the pain to pleasure. Transform the abandonment to acceptance. And basically, to do that, then what will happen is you're clearing out the negative side of that going through the transformational process. You're clearing out what's blocking you from having what you desire. So it's going to be important to know, what is my trauma? But what am I turning that trauma into something that's positive? See the positive aspects, the positive projection of that. And then focus on the positive side of that. And if you're letting go of the fear, what is it you want to bring in? What is it you desire? So as you clear out all the fears around you not having what it is you desire, that you're then opening the space to bring more balance to yourself, that's bringing you into the neutrality of your emotions and your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. That now you're going to clear on what you want, and now bring in the energy, put the focus forward into what you want to bring in. And you're able to take the trauma and turn it into triumph. Okay, see what I'm saying? So going from the negative side to the positive side. Affirmations are really good ways to reformat the thought process. But there is also a lot of reprogramming childhood wounds, that there's a lot of traumas even in that. That's what most people are dealing with. So if you've not got plugged into my Reprogram Your Childhood Wounds, it's a great way to transform these traumas. I have a lot of resources and tools down to effective communication that can really help you transform the trauma and put those wounds to rest so that you can come forward experiencing loving relationships in all areas of your life. So then in the third thing of this, it's taking back your power. It's revisiting all of the lost parts of you that you're letting go of in this process. And then as you transform this and you're going from, say, the fear to freedom, that's giving you the power back of the process, and you're resetting your triggers. So all of these wounds and these traumas are basically being triggered by, say, the twin flame, for you to go deeper into the mirrored self, see yourself, to be willing to heal that shadow. So the trigger is the or the trauma is the shadow, and the trigger from your twin forces you to look at the shadow or the trauma, so that you can then, in the process of that, you take responsibility. You own your part in this, and you stop blaming. You stop becoming the victim. You start creating a sense of standing up, speaking up, showing up for yourself, so that then you feel supported, loved, and heard. And then this is giving you the foundation of this security, this ability, the inner power. A lot of times what I hear in this process is where there's always two sides to this coin. There's always the two sides of the trauma. And a lot of times we've learned one side and we've let go of, say, something. We did let go of what we thought we needed to let go of. But now we're on the other side of the fence, and we get there and we're being pulled back to revisit what we let go of. And then as we're getting pulled back to that, we fight it. There's the resistance again. We don't allow ourselves to go back to where we were once with it, but it's from both sides of it. So one side might be that I reached out because I need to speak my truth, right? And here's another paradox in that. But on the flip side of that, if I reach out and speak my truth, then I actually just gave my power away, because I didn't get in return what I basically needed for me to see that it mattered. And now I can gain some anger in that and be like, you know what? I deserve better. So now next time it's like taking the power back. Like, I don't need to be the only one reaching out here, and I can have some respect. I am deserved of respect, and I deserve someone that wants to reach out without me being the only one. And then we can set ourselves up in this cycle of being, but like, if I don't reach out, then I didn't get my lesson because I needed to speak my truth. And I can see, one side I'm needing to like speak my truth, and the other side I'm needing to not. And it gets really confusing in that paradox. So know that it's really both sides, and both things are happening at the same time. And it's about juggling which side you're acting on, and then being okay with that. As a number 4 is about you being able to experience true love now, meaning stop waiting for this love to come in. Start nurturing your own wounds, age your own heart, stop forward for yourself, and show up for yourself in such a way that you're not waiting on anything. Because the waiting is creating separation, and it's blocking you from being able to bring the love into your life in this moment. And then that is then triggering more of what you don't want through this whole cycle of this paradox, this rat on a wheel of, do I let go or do I hold space? Now, with everything and all of that said, I think at the end of the day, as I mentioned, there's going to be two sides to that, and it's juggling when it comes to the physical aspects of letting go of your twin or not, or holding space. I think there's times where you need to let go to gain back your power, and I think then you find the gift in what you did by letting go of the anger and going through the process and walking down the steps to see, wow, I see why now that my twin just taught me by letting go of them. It just now taught me in the mirrored reflection that had they not done what they did, and I hadn't got angry with them, then I wouldn't have been forced to like surrender them in order to, now that I surrendered, I've worked through that process, and now I see the process that was all perfect, and now I see the gift in that, what my twin just did for me without even knowing it or doing anything. And then we see the gift, and then we become open, and we stop fighting the process, and we surrender, and we allow, and we stay open, and we don't get connected to the expectations, and we don't get connected to the outcome. And that allows us to go through this process in such a way that the paradox becomes like, it's not one or the other, it's both. And that both are happening at the same time in this reality, but that everything around it is happening in another time dimension and space in another reality. And so many people get so hung up on the pain, and they try to run from them physically, but they numb themselves. And then that's keeping the whole dynamic, the whole cycle, just repeating and repeating and repeating. So this is part 1 of the twin flame paradox. Should I let go of my twin or hold space? I'm actually writing a book on this whole concept, and it's coming out very beautifully. And so stay tuned. But I have a couple other videos that are going to be coming that's going to be talking about the different stages you go through as you detach from your twin, and the stages that you go through as you let go of your shadowed self. So you can kind of like walk through the process more specifically of what is going on and what's happening, so you can understand it, because the understanding it creates wisdom and power that helps you understand that this is real, and that allows you to trust it. The more you trust, the more you let go. So thank you so much for watching, and please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to like, comment, share the shine, and stay tuned for future upcoming Confessions of the Divine Masculine series. That's going to be continuing as well. May you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.